All right, well, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. I'm just going to provide a very high-level summary of what happened today here at the police department and in the city of Louisville. This morning, just before 4 a.m., the Louisville 911 Emergency Dispatch Center received a 911 call from an address in the 1000 block of Springwood Drive. The call taker that took the call heard what they reported to be as a struggle over that phone, and then somebody was also reporting that somebody was present in that location with a knife. Officers were dispatched to the location and were actually able to get on scene relatively quickly. The first officer that arrived located a suspect vehicle outside the residence and could hear screaming coming from inside the residence. That officer went into the residence and was actually able to encounter the suspect and both of our victims in this particular case. The victims were both stabbed. It appeared to be wounded. The officer had to detain and arrest the suspect first before being able to provide medical aid to the two victims that were inside the house. The suspect was handcuffed and taken out and given to other officers before we could summon medical aid into the residence to deal with both of the victims. The victims were identified as Fred Mitchell, who succumbed to his wounds this morning just before 5 a.m., and then Commissioner Bobbie Mitchell, who is still in a local hospital being treated for her wounds as well. They were both cared for by Louisville fire personnel relatively quickly and transported to area hospitals at that time. There was no struggle from our suspect, who was identified as Mitchell Blake Reinecker, a 23-year-old male who is the grandson of both the victims in this particular case. Our detectives responded to the scene and processed the scene this morning, also conducting a search warrant looking for evidence and things that contributed to this particular case. That wrapped up shortly before noon, and they're still in the process of going through the evidence and determining what next steps need to happen as well. And so I'll pause there and see if there's any questions that I can attempt to answer. Obviously, I know that Matt mentioned we are still actively investigating the case. There are a lot of things I may not be able to share with you, but we do expect the arrest affidavit to go out shortly, if not already, which should have some more details in it that would be of use to you.
Should officers recovering the weapon that was used in this attack?
Yes, sir. So the question was, did the officers recover the weapon used in the attack? We believe so. We believe it to be a serrated kitchen knife that was located near the assault location.
Chief, I know you're detectives are still kind of in this investigation. Do you have even a rough idea of what may have precipitated it?
At this point, I can't really speculate what it was that precipitated this event. We're still pretty early in the investigation, unfortunately.
Was this her home and he lived there?
So it is her home that she shared with her husband, and I believe he lived there. I believe the suspect lived at that residence as well.